From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, December the 12th, 2023. Israeli troops continued fierce battles against terror group Hamas in Gaza overnight last night and today, targeting Hamas terror infrastructure and eliminating Hamas terrorists, uncovering hundreds of rockets and rocket launchers, as well as stockpiles of weapons, and a weapons factory was destroyed. The IDF also announced the death of an Israeli soldier who was injured several weeks ago in Gaza, who yesterday died of his wounds. He is Master Sergeant in Reserve Tzvika Lavi. The IDF also shared that Israeli troops retrieved two bodies held by Hamas in Gaza. 27-year-old Eden Zacharia, who was taken hostage from the Nova Music Festival on October the 7th, and Master Sergeant Ziv Dado, who was murdered during the October 7th massacre, returning the remains back to Israel. Also saying that as part of the activity that made it possible to locate the bodies, Master Sergeant in Reserve Gal Meir Eisenkot, who is the son of former Chief of Staff Gadi Eisenkot, and Master Sergeant in Reserve Eyal Meir Berkovich were killed, as we reported to you last week. The IDF stressing that locating the missing and bringing the hostages home is a national mission. Rockets from Gaza continue today at southern border communities and at the city of Ashkelon. No injuries were reported. Rockets were also fired at northern Israel from Lebanon. At the IDF said a number of IDF posts in the Lebanese border area. And in addition, the IDF said 3 launches were detected from Syrian territory towards Israel, 2 of which landed in Syrian territory and 1 more landed in an open area. The IDF said it attacked the sources of the shooting with fire. Israeli troops also battled Palestinian terrorists during a counter-terror operation in the West Bank, in the Jenin refugee camp early this morning, where they made a number of arrests and also located weapons. The IDF said also locating and destroying a laboratory of ready-to-use explosives. U.S. President Joe Biden, joined by Second Gentleman Douglas Emhoff, hosted a White House Hanukah reception last night, where some 800 people, including members of Congress, Jewish organization leaders, and Holocaust survivors, gathered to light the 5th candle in a ceremony led by Central Synagogue of New York City's Rabbi Angela Bookdahl, who spoke of this particular Chanukah.
Hanukkah always falls in the calendar's shortest days. But for the Jewish people, the darkness came earlier this year, after Hamas's brutal slaughter and kidnapping of Israeli civilians on October 7th. And since that devastating day, it's only gotten darker, with many around the world justifying terrorism, normalizing anti-Semitism, with the pain of so many lives lost, Israeli and Palestinian, in this just but tragic war. Mr. President, you have been a beacon of strength. The light of your moral clarity in your first speech on October 10th brought tears to our eyes. You've been a steadfast supporter of Israel's right to defend itself, a trusted and true friend of the Jewish people, and we are deeply, deeply grateful.
Biden, in his remarks, spoke of the Hamas massacre and vowed his support to Israel and to the return of those still being held captive in Gaza.
We're working relentlessly for the safe return of the hostages, and we're not going to stop till we get every one of them home.
Biden also acknowledged the hurt and fear many in the Jewish community were feeling, saying the surge of anti-Semitism in the United States and around the world is sickening. Biden ended his speech with the story of a menorah that was recovered from Kibbutz Kfar Aza, one of the sites of the Hamas massacre, which was found by its owner in the ashes of his home and given to Israel's President Isaac Herzog, who lent it to U.S. Ambassador to Israel Jack Lew. It is now on display, Biden said, in the foyer at the White House, where it serves as a reminder.
A symbol a symbol of the Jewish people that not only survive, but heal, rebuild, and continue to shining their light in the world. A reminder to hold on to the miracle of hope and faith. Because when we do, no night is so dark we can't find light.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, December the 12th. At 7 o'clock, Rabbi Erez Sherman speaks with Jeffrey Gurock about how the sports experience can be used to understand contemporary American Jewish life. Then it's the Yeshiva University Maccabees versus St. Joseph's University, Brooklyn. At 9:30, the story of Hanukah is on The Jewish Story Explained. At 10, Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch visits Brothers and Sisters in Arms, an organization of men and women in the IDF Reserve mobilized in support of the war effort. At 10:30, catch a replay of the JBS candle lighting for the 6th night of Hanukah. And coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, December the 12th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.